So if you're wondering how to open up a Dyson remote, it gets ugly. There's a purple cover or some type of diffuser on the transmitter side, and there's a back on the battery. What I wound up doing is slitting a segment. There's actually like a seam on both sides, so I just started it with a couple of little clips here, and then I used this guy at an angle to very gently cut through. I think you might as well remove this thing first. So the diffuser, which might be a variety of colors depending on the model, is nested up against those locking teeth in this space here. So I actually removed that first. And I did that just by inserting very not gently a flathead. Didn't really work, so I wound up cutting up a credit card and sliding it into that space to get it to come off to retain that, or remove the retainers. That didn't really make it any more serviceable. The way that this thing sits inside, when you undo the back with the screw and take out the battery, that in my case voltmeter just fine, this thing sits in here and holds the circuit board. There's the magnets that lock it to the top so you can knock it down every chance you get. And then to remove the board from this, you need a T6, the world's most important T of all, and that removes the screw from there. But as to how this would come out without cutting it apart, one sec, let me look at this. Yeah, I just don't see any significant retainer hooks. Well, no, I stand corrected. I think perhaps maybe somewhat near these two buttons on the top side, looks like there's two hooks. Right there, you can make out 1, 2, and it's possible that those are what hold this thing in, if you're not gonna violate it like I have on mine. This thing being very likely dead, I don't really have a lot of concern about servicing it again. It's that if I have any others I have to do, I've got this guinea pig, which will be, I would imagine, similar but not the same depending on the button population. So let's see, with that out of the way. Yeah, and I don't want to completely destroy it if I don't have to. Seems like something on the back holds it in still, not just that top. It might be both. I know it's not the same hooks that hold the purple diffuser in. I really don't see sides. I kind of wondered that earlier. Okay, yeah, so I kind of wondered that earlier. That confirms that suspicion. So there's actually two little edges. One here, see, it's kind of slit right now, but I'll try to get down to that depth. No, not really, huh? Right about there, there's a little stop. And let's see, it looks like it, yeah, there you go. Okay, so these little tangs here, if you were able to push them from like a long slit of credit card perhaps, then the thing would come off of those side tabs, and with that jammed down in there, you should be able to pull it out the back, with of course the board still on there. So I don't think I'll sweat that right now, but that looks like the means of doing that is these little tabs, which makes perfect sense looking at it. So yeah, you can get in there. Now, once you're in there, what you will find is a bunch of very populated components. There's a 6-pin, probably with logic and storage. Looks like 2 3-pin transistors, variety of resistors. Probably it's going to use a PLL for its infrared, and then I do not see a fuse on this board, which is the typical mindset when you have a coin cell. But I think one should ask the question, like if you put a lithium-ion rechargeable 2032 in here that was ran up to about 4.1 volts, if it might fry something on this board, because a lot of these systems are not past 3.3 volt tolerant. I can't make out the marking on the packages very well. That may be intentional, a little green screen included. And that means I can't really validate what the voltage spec is on these. But yeah, that's what's inside of a lovely Dyson remote. And I found mine on eBay from a generic that doesn't have the magnets, but let's hope otherwise works. This is from a TP02. That particular fan was sold at Costco a couple years ago, and that thing was probably one of Costco's little dirty clearinghouse things they do, where they have a inferior model or defective model, and they actually use Costco customers as clearinghouses. I've seen this with a couple of products now. I don't know if Costco's aware of that as a whole, or if it's just the buyer or just the seller that's getting the volume of frankly trash. But yeah, that's how we came by this thing that barely ever worked when we got it. And yeah, so there you are, stories and things and stuff. It's Monday. Bye.